her lover. Daddy said, her lover, Linda. Yes, Daddy, she's a lesbian. She likes, I know what a lesbian likes. So my parents gave me their permission to live with Harris. I flew into LaGuardia Airport. A checker cab carried me over the Triborough Bridge. And that's when I saw that magnificent skyline of Manhattan. Oh, please, God, make this city work for me. Harris lived on the fabulous East Side. Oh, I could just see us dining at Regine's and shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue and frolicking in the fountain outside the Plaza Hotel. The cab turned onto East 76th Street, and there stood my Harris. All 6'2" of them, grinning from ear to ear. Welcome home, pumpkin. Welcome home. I jumped out that cab, and Harris gave me one of his big guy hugs, and I grabbed Josephine, and I followed him towards a tenement building on the fabulous East Side. This is it, pumpkin. They call it the working girls' ghetto. Don't say ghetto, Harris. Don't say ghetto. We struggled up 5 flights in a dimly lit stairway that reeked of old cigar smoke all the way up. And then Harris opens the door onto the tiniest apartment I'd ever seen. There was a bathtub in the kitchen, and the sunshine exposed every crack in the walls. But then I noticed Mateus wine bottles everywhere, filled with bouquets of wildflowers. Nice, Harris. Really nice. The very next day, I bought a yellow Peugeot 10-speed bike that we hung from the kitchen ceiling right up over that fabulous tub, ready to get to work. That season, Broadway was poppin' if you were black and into musical comedy. The Wiz, me and Bessie, Timbuktu. People of color were working all over New York City, on Broadway and off, as long as they could sing and dance and make people happy. But Langston Hughes said, "Good morning, Daddy. Ain't you heard the boogie-woogie rumble of a dream deferred? Listen closely. You'll hear their feet beating out and beating out. You think it's a happy beat. Listen to it closely. Ain't you heard something underneath like a... What I say? Sure, I'm happy. Take it away. Hey, pop, rebop, mop, yeah. Langston Hughes. I felt the same way Langston Hughes felt. No musicals for me. I never even learned to tap dance. You see, I came to New York with 5 monologues to audition with. Shakespeare, Sophocles, Chekhov, Tennessee Williams, Ntozake Shange. My goal was to work in serious plays at places like the Public Theater, the Negro Ensemble Company, Playwrights Horizons. I came to act. I immediately began reading Backstage and Show Business, and there it was. An open call for replacements for Ntozake Shanges for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. Now, see, this is where I lived. This is why I came to New York City. I even wore colorful scarves around my head, and I knotted the ends so that I looked just like the woman on the Colored Girls poster. I signed in at the casting office. An assistant gave me the audition scene. I was a pregnant 16-year-old girl about to have an abortion. I warmed up. I imagined that the other women waiting to audition were actually, pregnant girls like me. We were no longer in a midtown casting office. We were in an abortion clinic. Charlayne Woodard? The nurse called me in. I followed her into a white-tiled examining room. It was cold, sterile. Shiny steel instruments were neatly laid out onto a tray. I saw the table with its metal stirrups reaching out. I climbed onto the table and I placed my feet into those stirrups, further exposing my mistake. I am alone. I am pregnant. And I desperately need this abortion. I finished the monologue. The director said, "Thank you, Charlayne." Oh, you're welcome. But actually, it's Charlayne, rhyming with, pain. Excuse me, Charlayne. Look, I suggest you go out and live life. That's right. Go on out and get a few more life experiences under your belt. And then I want you to come back and audition for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. You see, you look as if you haven't suffered one day in your life. Go on. Live life. Thank you. And before I could get out the door, I heard, "Welcome to New York, Charlayne." Thank God I rode my bike that day, because I jumped on that yellow Peugeot and I tore up Avenue of the Americas. I flew through 10 green lights before I was forced to stop at an intersection. I sailed into Central Park and then all the way home. And when I got to our little tenement building, I hiked that bike up onto my shoulders and I ran up those 5 flights. Harris heard me. He opened the door. "How'd it go, pumpkin? How'd it go?" I started packing my suitcase. "Harris, I don't have the stuff to be a color girl." Harris, the director said I need to go and live life. He said I haven't lived life enough to be a color girl, Harris. I just finished studying 6 days a week, 12 hours a day for 4 years. I've been black my whole life. And I'm not fit to be a color girl. Harris, I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I'm made for this. Hey, pumpkin. If anybody's made for this, you are. Remember old Tahitian saying, "You eat life, or life eat you." That's a good saying, Harris. Harris drew me a hot bath. All I could do was lie in that tub, right up under the spice rack. Harris pulled up the kitchen chair and he read to me poems by Nikki Giovanni. She wrote, "And the dove flew with an olive branch by Harriet's root to my breast and nestled close and said, 'You are mine.'" After a while, he wrapped me in my terry cloth robe and carried me to bed. His objective was to rub lotion all over my body, massaging my muscles from my toes to my temples. Toes, calves, thighs, buns, back, buns. He never made it to my